So nearby, Brad, are you ready to talk about Metal Gear Rising Revengeance?
You mean like every other day of my life with you?
Yes. Well, if you're going to talk about Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, I have to crack open a beer. So I've got my beer, and I've got my John Cena Hustle Loyalty Respect lunchbox that I got for Christmas. So I guess. So I was thinking that was the most American thing in my flat, and I thought John Cena, so. I actually put like a full-on dint on my ceiling. It was like a perfect imprint of a beer bottle on my ceiling. Oh, who cares?
Now there's a pretty meme.
Let's talk about the memes. So, Metal Gear Rising Revengeance is a video game where you take control of a cyborg samurai who's on a mission to save a bunch of child No. Also, pro tip, keep your glasses in the freezer. Like, Americans do this, and I don't know why British people don't. Like, when you go to like, American bars and they pull out like a glass from the freezer and you're like, oh, it's the dream.
I always worry that it'll crack.
Not unless you get any water in there. So unless you've got water in there, it won't crack. Because like, water expands when it freezes.
Today,
I remember that.
Science with Karl.
Do you ever do that like experiment in school where they say like, here's like a metal container full of water and they freeze it and the metal container breaks? It's like ice is stronger than like steel. It's crazy. Anyway, we'll try the intro again. Yeah. Metal Gear Rising is a video game where you take control of a cyborg samurai on a mission to save a bunch of child brains from being forcibly conscripted into a proxy war started by a nano-infused Republican senator. Just the fact that that's the plot and that's not hyperbole is fucking amazing. Warmly received on release, the game has undergone something of a critical reanalysis, in part thanks to, quite ironically, memes.
The memes.
So Brad, what do you know about some Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, other than the fact that I play it every single Friday on stream at the links you can find below? In fact, it's a Friday today, and me and Brad will be playing through the game tonight on Twitch. Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, I don't know what the point of mentioning it in this video is, because this is going to go out in a few weeks.
Well, the reason I mention it, Brad, is because today we're having a drink. So when I stream Metal Gear Rising Revengeance on a Friday, I'll have like a few little challenges that if I manage to accomplish, we have a drink, and I invite my audience watching at home, if they, have a beverage of choice in their hand, drink along with me. People might think, how do you kick his corpse off the edge? You mash heavy as quickly as possible, and you hope. You hope for the best. Let's go. Oh, we did it! Oh, he went off the edge! You all saw it! And part of the reason why I've played it every week for the past 2 years is because it's never stopped being fun.
I mean, that's a testament to how good the game is, really.
Yeah, I have played it literally. I might be the person in the world who's played this game the most, besides maybe speedrunners. As I said, I've played it every week for 2 years. But I've never seen what happens if you punch him. Oh, this is kind of neat. Oh, Armstrong! We are glitching! We glitching, he's still healing. Let's get back up to 200%. And the little challenges that I mentioned were born out of the amount of times I played the game and realised, like, every single boss fight has about 30 to 40 different things they can say. So a lot of, like, the things that we'll take a drink for, which you better, like, start memorising now, Brad, are rare voice lines that bosses will say, such as Senator Armstrong saying, "This is the greatest fight of my life." And if he says that, you get those shots poured. You get those shots poured. Yes! Greatest fight of my life!
That's the one I always remember, because most of the times when I've popped into your stream has been towards the end of the fight. And I've always sat around, I wait for 69.
Yep.
I wait for that line.
61. I'll go for a horizontal slice. Oh! 69! Yes! Bam! Yes! We nailed it, ladies and gentlemen. 69. Oh, it's like when you're fighting Mr. Alf, you say something that sounds flirtatious, you've got to take a drink, but then you've still got to keep playing the game. So I've got to play the game one-handed, which I'm used to, because I played a lot of Dead or Alive.
There's Fast and Slow as well, I remember that.
Yeah, and it's just a lot of fun. And I'd love to keep talking about the game, Brad, but we have to talk about memes. But not memes as people at home would understand them, which is funny pictures with text on them, but the classical definition of what a meme is. And do you happen to know that at all?
Well, like mimetic.
Mm-hmm.
It's I know you've mentioned it, but I don't remember.
So the classical definition of what a meme is was defined by known shithead Richard Dawkins, and it is, I've got the exact thing here, a cultural norm that is passed on by non-genetic means. And for people out there who are maybe struggling to visualize that, the example I often see is queuing. Queuing is a meme. Because if you think about queuing, it makes no sense from an evolutionary standpoint. It's like, why would you not just go straight to the front? It's like, then the biggest and the strongest person could always get served first. We queue. And that's an idea that is passed on. It is a dominant idea that gets passed on, much in the same way, a dominant gene, like hair colour or eye colour, will be passed on. And a lot of things could be defined as memes, subcultures, like the way a lot of subcultures choose to dress and style themselves, or trends, fashion, that sort of thing.
I mean, you could argue anything we do that isn't genetically passed on, like wearing clothes.
Clothes are a great example because the most efficient thing to do is we wear featureless jumpsuits that are completely utilitarian, but we don't. And in fact, the way people dress is a pretty good way of identifying the group with which they identify themselves. And it's not efficient to do that, but we do it.
Fact Fiend!
Hey, there's no reason I have to do it besides. And it's a fascinating concept devised by a fucking weirdo. Oh, it's yeah. So that's the thing, I hate the fact we've got to mention Richard Dawkins, because he's got a weird fan base. Not on the level like Jordan Peterson, but a weird fan base nonetheless.
Disease. Free will is a myth. Religion is a joke.
And the reason we're mentioning this is because the plot of Metal Gear Rising evokes the classical definition of what a meme is a lot, which, divorced of context, admittedly, is very funny.
Expose someone to anger long enough, they hate. They become a carrier. Envy, greed, despair, all memes, all lasting.
You just have that bit of running with the memes, or the person who talks to you about it, Monsoon, where it's when you kill him, he's like, your memes end here, and it's that's such a good exploitable image. Ironically, that is a pretty good meme in the modern sense, isn't it? It was a reaction image of a Raiden saying your memes end here.
Do they actually say memes in the game?
Yeah.
So when was this game made? You say 2016?
2013.
So,
yeah, 2013 because the 10-year anniversary was this year.
But back when it was made, the word meme had become surely memes.
It was
as we know them.
Meme culture as it exists now is completely different from what it was like. I think memes back then were lolcats and stuff.
So they must have known.
They knew, yeah, but obviously words can mean different things, Brad. There, and there.
Yeah.
That, but the game used the classical definition of meme as a core concept of the game. And just, as I said, divorced of context, Raiden saying the memes is very funny, especially in response to Armstrong saying, have you checked the internet lately? It's have you checked the internet lately? The memes! It's yeah, it's great. And ironically, that has become a meme in of itself. And the thing we're talking about today is the fact that memes help this game become more popular.
Now you're just being nasty.
I remember when Metal Gear Rising first came out, I was a huge fan of the Metal Gear series, I still am. Yeah. And I played 1, I played 2, 3, 4, played 5 as soon as it came out.
I'm the same.
Metal Gear Rising went past me. I never played it when it came out. A lot of people.
It was very unpopular with the die-hard fans of the Metal Gear series. Because 1, it is a dramatic deviation from the classic, the tactical espionage action that defined the series. And it also stars Raiden, who was the character they tried to introduce the new protagonist. A lot of people didn't like Raiden, and then he had that really weird, very dramatic redesign of Metal Gear Solid 4. Raiden's now a cyborg. Out of nowhere. If anyone's ever wondered, wait, how did Raiden go from this to Cyborg Man? They explain that in codec calls and extra universe material, where it's he went to rescue Sonny.
Yeah.
He got experimented on by the Patriots, and they removed his brain and put it into a cyborg body for shits and giggles.
Snake.
Yeah, because in Metal Gear Solid 4, it does just come out of nowhere.
Yeah, he just turns up as a fucking robot.
All you're told about Raiden is that he went missing years ago.
Yeah.
And then randomly in the middle of the mission, you just get a codec call from Raiden, and Snake's not oh my god, where have you been? He's just oh, Raiden.
Yeah,
hey.
That's the thing, and no one mentions it. And if you keep calling him, he'll tell you what happened. Or if you read the supplementary material for the games, they'll say, oh yeah, Raiden got captured by the Patriots and turned into a robot. So for those two reasons, the game wasn't really popular. Also, it had a really laborious production process where they scrapped the game halfway through production because they couldn't realise what they wanted to from the game and just built it from the ground up. And as someone who's played it every single week for the past 2 years, the game is very fun, but there's very obviously a lot of cut corners and there's so much stuff that you can tell, especially if you know what the game was supposed to be, you can tell at the exact point they stopped giving a shit. Because like the first mission is kind of open. You go like, you go through multiple different areas. Like some of them are like big open plan ones. You have the opportunity to approach with stealth or action. There's like verticality in like the design of the levels. Second level, which is where they stop giving a shit, sewer, corridor. And it's like that, you can tell it's the exact point they ran out of money.
Yeah.
And just from that point on, it's just corridor, corridor, corridor. With admittedly fantastic action, cutscenes and gameplay, but it does sting a little bit, especially as well when you know what the game was supposed to be.
I just assumed that all the money got spent on Armstrong's muscles.
No, it got spent on the fucking music, mate. That's what it got spent on, but it's really, again, so one of the things, like the most gutting things for me as a fan of the character action genre is that wall running was supposed to be a core mechanic for the game.
Something else present in this early version is the ability to wall run. In the final game, you can hop up walls when you use the ninja run ability, but you can't do anything like this.
Do they have that in the Prince of Persia game?
Yeah, and like the Ninja Gaiden games. So you can say, oh, Prince of Persia is a different game, like genre. Ninja Gaiden is the same genre, like high-speed character action. There's wall running in that, and they couldn't work it. But you can tell that they, throughout all of production, thought they would. Because like Raiden wall runs in lots of cutscenes. And it's like you can tell like for example the first mission has Raiden like wall running and deflecting bullets while he does so, and that was what they wanted to do in game because their idea was everything you see Raiden do in a cutscene you should be able to do in game. It's like you can't, and it really is. It's got it.
Yeah.
I've noticed, Brad, you've not got a drink. So, how long have we been recording? We're only halfway. Yeah, we've got. So, fun fact: we can record for about half an hour during these videos. So, do you want to go for another drink, mate?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna stand here and drink alone.
You can just carry on talking.
Okay. So yeah, I did say I wouldn't stand here and drink alone on a Friday night, but every Friday night I play Revengeance and drink. But it's not alone because I'll be with you, the audience at home, you tune into. That is so fucking lame. God damn it.
See, you don't even need me.
I do a little bit. So have you got like, so Brad has a Diet Cola. You got some stuff to put in that, mate? The whiskey. What whiskey are you drinking?
It's Samuel Joe's. It's Aldi's version of Jack Daniels.
Oh, okay. I've got some actual Jack Brad, the channel's doing all right. We had a boost. Do you want some Jack Daniels?
I mean, it tastes very much the same.
Do you know what? Go on, get your Samuel Joe's and just do it. Go on. You got some in? He's pouring it into the can like a cretin. Like we still students. Well, you got a hit flask. That's pretty cool. I've got a hit flask. Yeah, I've got a hit flask. Look. I think it's like solid silver. I got it for there was a groomsman at a friend's wedding, and it's got my name on it. I was afraid to put drink in it because it might smell. How do you clean a hit flask?
I usually just put water in it. Like, it's made of metal, it's fine.
I thought you were going to say I don't.
You put water in, give it a shake, and then I do that before I fill it up again as well. I assume it's okay. I haven't died yet, so.
That's fair enough, yeah. So, let's bring it back to, so Brad, you got your drink? Right, cheers to you, mate.
Trying to make sure it's mixed so I don't just have a big gulp of whiskey.
There's no wrong with that, though. But, as mentioned, the game was released in 2013 to, mixed reviews. Like, it very infamously got, I think, 2 out of 10 from one, from one review outlet. And I always contend that when, a game like Metal Gear Rising gets a bad review, it's because the person playing it is just not very good.
Have you reached that point where you just don't give a shit what review scores are anymore? There's so many times I've seen a review score that's just been complete bollocks.
I just don't care. It's that thing, especially when it's like Metal Gear Rising, where it's like character action. If you are not good at the game, you will not get enjoyment out of it because games like that are designed to be played over and over again. Where it's like I mentioned Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden is a series where, like, you know, if you are not good at that game, it is an unforgiving slog, where you just like, you feel like you are being punished for just existing. But if you get good at it and you master the systems, you feel like a god. You feel like Ryu Hayabusa.
Yeah.
And it's an unfortunate, like, you know, caveat of that genre where gameplay needs to be punishing so that when you master the mechanics, it feels good. Because if you just feel like an absolute god from second one, it's like Dynasty Warriors or something like that.
I'm personally not a huge fan of games where you have to beat yourself against a wall until you get it.
Well, normally in the character action genre, you can go on to easy. And a lot of people don't want to play easy mode, but it's like for Revengeance or Ninja Gaiden or Devil May Cry, you play through on easy, get your upgrades. You play through on, it's like, think of it as like a pseudo roguelike. You play through, get your upgrades, go back through with more moves, more health, more weapons.
Or you play through on easy and just learn how the game works.
Yeah, and then when you go through on normal mode, you're more powerful. But like, you know, by the time you've got to the point, and the hope is that by the time you get to like hard mode, very hard mode, Revengeance mode, Master Ninja mode, like Dante Must Die mode, you don't need those additional upgrades because you're not getting hit.
Yeah.
But like, you know, until you reach that point, they are a very like useful crutch, and the game is built around using them. But like, I think the bad reviews for like Revengeance, like, oh, it's very short and there's not much in the way of replayability. It's like, yes, there is. I've replayed it for 2 years.
Yeah, but you're not a usual case. People,
okay, fair.
You can't use you as a metric for how replayable the game is.
Okay, but
Mr. 2 years of completing it every single. You know what the funniest part about that is as well, right?
What's that?
If we ever plan anything on the Friday when you're going to be doing your Metal Gear stream, you won't not do the stream. What you'll do is say, "Oh, I'll just start at this bit instead. Or I'll just do this bit. Or I'll skip forward to this bit." Like,
you know
it's
what?
like an addiction.
It's not an addiction. It's just that thing of like, it's the one stream that I like actually enjoy because it's a game that I'm good at and can talk about. It's like that thing about streaming is streaming's not fun unless it's something that you can do while talking about. And it's just the one game that I can just talk about it without needing to think about it. It's always fun. So Metal Gear Rising got, like, you know, all right reviews on release, but about, you know, almost a decade later, started to undergo something of a critical reanalysis. And people notice, like, despite the fact this game's plot is absolute balls to the walls nonsense, it's weirdly prescient. And for anyone wondering, like, wait, so how is it prescient? The game was set in 2013, and the final boss is a potential 2016 presidential candidate who is a populist right-wing dickhead who does a drum-beating speech and screams the word "Make America Great Again."
I have a dream. What?
And not to mention, like, you know, the underlying themes of, like, you know, corruption in like the upper levels of government and like the subplot of police corruption and brutality.
Man, Trump wishes he could be Armstrong.
Well, that's the thing, like, and people wondering, like, wait, did they predict Make America? Like, no, I think it's like a Ronald Reagan quote.
Yeah. And
that's what Trump was cribbing. It's also what they cribbed in the like the dialogue writing for Armstrong. And it just so happens that Armstrong just really weirdly mirrors Trump to the point where even his voice actor, Alistair Duncan, has commented on the fact that the parallels between Trump and Armstrong are really weird. But he does consent, like, you know, Armstrong said "Make America Great Again" first. Also, he dies, which is great.
Has he, because didn't you say he's got a fiver?
He's got a cameo, yes.
A cameo, sorry, yeah. Does that mean that people will probably have paid him to do Trump quotes?
I don't think he does Trump quotes, because, like, you know, he's pretty, like liberal himself, but he will do quotes in the Armstrong voice. Like, people have, like, paid him to do, like, all the dumb shit, like, what's your sauce? My sauce, I made it up! You know, but stuff like that led to, like, you know, a minor resurgence in interest in the game. When it's like, oh, do you know, like, the final boss of this game is like a guy running for president in 2016 who says "Make America Great Again." It's like, wait, what? Well, the real thing that, like, you know, got a lot of people back into it or made them realise
the meme.
It literally was, because there was a meme, specifically this one, of Jetstream Sam during the Jetstream Sam DLC, just going, and just someone playing the game saw that, thought it was pretty funny, turned it into an exploitable for meme purposes, and that meme got really, really popular. And it led to, I shit you not, Brad, a 1,000% increase in, like, the player base for that game.
Overall, or from when that
From
happened?
that point, yes. It's not like, you know, 1,000% more people, but it's just like a couple of people were playing at the time, but it's like, you know, when that meme came about, like, you know, oh, this meme's pretty funny, what's it from? Oh, it's from a video game. Oh, it's from a video game, that's really good. It's from a video game where you beat up a Republican senator. Wait, what? Okay, let's download. Oh, wait, it's £4 on, like, Steam with all the DLC. Fuck it, I'll buy that. And then just, 1,000% increase, thanks to the memes.
I think I'll have to play through it myself at some point. The only time I've ever played it, I think on your gaming channel, I think it's called Fat Fiend Gaming at the moment.
Yeah.
There's a playthrough from years ago where you played through it with me there, and I think, was it Josh joined us at some point?
Yeah.
But there's an episode of that where you gave me the controller and I couldn't do it.
Where's the thing, Brad? If you want to start playing Metal Gear Rising on Thursdays, and I get Luke to do it on a Wednesday, and Nisha to do it on a Tuesday, then we get a fifth member of the channel, we can have a week of Metal Gear Rising! But no, like this episode was more or less just an excuse for me to promote my stream when I play this game, espouse my love for it, but also promote my Twitch and the Twitch of the other members of the channel. So Brad, you got a Twitch, yes?
Yeah, my Twitch is called Overdog.
Nisha's got one. It's like it's Midnight Niche, yes?
Yeah, Midnight Niche, I think.
And Luke has one, Legend of Kanto. And we all sporadically play games, but I play this game every Friday.
Yeah, Carl and Lucas stream regularly. I stream semi-regularly, depending on whether I can be
Nisha
bothered.
streams irregularly.
Nisha streams once a year, apparently.
I don't mind that on a birthday, but we do stream as and when we can. And just follow our socials and stuff, because we're all working around stuff. And this is one of those little projects where I really like the fact that I might be the person keeping this game alive. So I think last week we checked, and I was like 98% of the audience for this game on Twitch. Like everyone watching a Metal Gear Rising playthrough on Twitch was watching me. I'm like, if I keep doing this, I might be the only person in the world who plays this game. And I kind of like, that's kind of weird. Like the fact the internet lets you do that. Like I might be the only, the most well-known person in the world for playing this one thing, this obscure, not even obscure, it's this game from 2013.
Well, what game was it? There was a game that I was playing on stream with a couple of other people, and it was like a free game we downloaded. It might have been one that's called Outside the Grid.
Okay.
And we looked at when we tried to find servers and stuff on it, we were the only people in the world who were even on the game because it was that shit. I think it was this free-to-play escape game where you're a prisoner and...
But I love the internet for stuff like that. It's like when I was playing it once, I think I got raided by someone like, we used to speedrun this game, and we checked, they were like the number 2 speedrunner for it in the world, and then no one's trying to challenge that speedrun in years. And it's like, I just saw someone playing this game and got a real nostalgia hit.
Have you thought about doing a speedrun?
No. So people always ask this, and the reason I don't want to do a speedrun is because I'm probably good enough to do one, but a speedrun of a character interaction game means you have to play the game in a way that's not fun.
It does kind of leech the... I mean, if you find it fun, that's fair.
Yeah, people do find topping their own score fun, but because the best way to speedrun that game is avoid almost all combat, and the combat you have to do just spam the same 3 moves because the most powerful thing you can do. That's not fun to me. The fun that I have is just the multitude of interactions. It's like the same with Smash Bros, where the fun I have from it is the almost infinite amount of various interactions you can have. I don't want to min-max the fuck out of it, I want to have fun.
Yeah, I remember there's a local place that occasionally does Smash tournaments, and I remember you saying you would turn up to have a good time, and then there'd be these people who would only get water, they wouldn't even drink, and they'd play it so much, hyper-focused, trained.
So they've got the 0 to death combos. It's that thing of they find that fun, I don't. Same with Revenge, it's anyone wants to speedrun a video game, I get it. That's your thing, it's not for me. Because I want to play it and get hype. And you can't get hype if you beat Armstrong in 40 seconds. So I think the world record for the boss fight thing is it's 10 seconds for every boss. That's not hype. That's not hype at all.
I think the only game I've ever done a speedrun for was Minecraft.
Okay.
But there was a gimmick to it where people could pay Twitch points to obviously mess up my run. And I never got out of the nether, because people just kept doing things. I think one of them was dig straight down. People kept buying that one. One was throw an item away. They kept throwing away anything I needed to actually complete the game. And it just got to the point where I was like, I literally can't finish this because you are fucking up my run.
Yeah.
They were all like, success!
People enjoy it. And if that sounds like fun to you, you can follow us on Twitch. Cheers, everyone.